Okay, guys, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about hobbies. This is IELTS Speaking, part one. We have got 5 questions as usual. The first question says, "What do you usually do in your free time? What do you usually do in your free time?" Well, in my free time, it depends on how I feel. If I feel a little bit lazy, I love to sit down and watch some series. It could be series in different languages. My preference being English or Chinese series. I usually do this to practice my languages at the same time or to keep my languages alive. And from there, if it's the day that I feel a little bit more energetic, I'll go out for playing basketball with the boys. And then afterwards, I go to do boxing, or sometimes I go to boxing first and then basketball later. And sometimes I love reading. You know, when I take a book, I usually never put it down until I finish it, unless I have something very important to do or have a tight schedule. So that's how I do in my free time. Question number two. Have your hobbies changed since childhood? Have your hobbies changed since childhood? I think I've always had similar hobbies. Since I was younger, I was so much into sports. I loved playing football when I was younger, but when I went to the middle school, I was introduced to basketball a little bit. I didn't go much into that direction. I tried a little bit of volleyball, martial arts, so it has always been about my physical strength. Well, when you're training martial arts and things like boxing, basketball and football, you are building both your mental and physical health. But it has always been about sports. So ever since, I never stopped doing sports. I was never a big reader back then, but as I grew into becoming a university student, I started picking books little by little. So I could say there is only small change in my hobbies, but the nature of my hobbies have always stayed the same. Question number three. Do you think hobbies are important? Absolutely. I think hobbies are important. First of all, I believe it's a hobby because you enjoy doing it. And this makes you feel great. You love life more because of your hobbies. And some hobbies are challenging. For example, when you're learning how to play basketball for the first time, by the time you are an expert, or at least you are good at playing basketball, you have already improved a lot of things about yourself, your conditioning, your physical strength, your ability to make quick decisions, your hand to mind or hand to eye coordination. So there are lots of things that you actually improve when you are learning new hobbies. And I've known some people who love to try a new hobby after every 1 or 2 years, especially when it comes to sports hobbies. I have a friend of mine who plays tennis, plays basketball, plays football, plays golf. So he has a lot of sports that he plays, and he is somehow thriving at all of them because when he try a new sport, he just gives everything into it. After some time, he just become better, and then later he moves on. But in daily basis or at the weekend, he would practice 1 or 2 of the sports that he knows. I think that's the best way to keep healthy and keeping your mind active. Question number four. What hobby would you like to learn in the future? Well, I tried to learn chess when I was younger, but really I never had competition, like someone to play with, someone to challenge me, especially at a high level. So I gave up on that. Probably in the future, I'll try to practice more of chess. They say as you age, you have to kind of like forcing your brain or training your brain into becoming active because most things as you live, this is my belief, when you live and learn after some time, you become comfortable with what you know and you don't want to learn anymore because almost you have almost learned everything that you need to survive, isn't it? So your brain little by little becomes weaker because you have stopped learning and pushing yourself mentally. So I love as I age to acquire new hobbies, such as learning more languages, trying to take up like chess classes, probably playing with young people. Physically, I love to continue with what I'm already doing right now, especially lifting weights, building muscles. As we know, as you age, you lose your muscles quicker and your metabolism rate also goes down. So you actually need more sports as you age. So I love to kind of like go into mental and the physical a little bit more if I happen to have more free time. Question number 5. How much time do you spend on your hobbies each week? Well, I'm a big fan of basketball and boxing, so I'd say maybe I spend 2 to 3 hours for sports every evening when I'm not very busy. Lately, I've become a little bit busier, and the only time I have is mornings if I want to do sports. So I only take some time going out for a walk or running in the morning. And when I'm not very busy in the evening, I usually go to play basketball, which is really amazing. It feels good. Or sometimes I do boxing, which is also incredibly powerful. So uh, that's how much time I spend, almost 10 hours every week for just sports and the physical activities when I'm not very busy, and probably at least 3 hours every week when I'm working in a very busy schedule. Yes, so that was the last question. There is one thing that I love to insist every time I finish an episode like this. When you are working for your IELTS examination, especially the speaking part, practicing is your best friend. You come to this material here, you listen to sample answers, you get some ideas about what you're supposed to be saying. Probably you could have some points which are similar to these ones. It's okay to learn from here. But what's important is you being able to answer this question by yourself. So if you take one question one by one and assume you are in the examination and try to answer these questions, then you would be in a better position more than someone who just listens and move on. Obviously, when you are listening to these audios and these Q and A's, you get some ideas of how you're supposed to be um, answering your questions, or at least some sample answers of how you should be conducting yourself during the examination. But this is never enough. This is just a starting. You could listen to a lot of them, get the ideas, but you should also actively try to answer the questions by yourself. So, without further ado, I'd love to leave you here today. I'm always wishing you all the best in your coming examinations. And if you're here for just improving your English, I wish you all the best as well. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and also subscribe to the channel and open the notifications so that you will be informed whenever we have uploaded a new video. So wish me luck. I wish you the best. Take care of yourself.